Hi there, this is John Hyman from Commercial Real Estate Online. Welcome to the program. This is one of the videos that I like to share with commercial real estate agents and brokers around the world. And this particular video is going to be all about developing your own sales plan in your location. So there are some things here to help you tap into your market, tap into properties and people and listings, of course. So I'll just go through these quickly so you can make your notes. And of course, all of these things can be expanded on, and you can think about these things over a coffee or two over a period of time. So if you're an agent in a particular location, having your own sales plan allows you to tap into the people, the properties, the situations, the future leads and opportunities. And I will say that the best way forward in this market, because it's a changing market, it's an opening up market, the best way to get working in this market is to talk to lots of people every day. So this sales plan here will help you. So what's the idea? What's the strategy? Well, I've split these down into 7 different topics. Firstly, defining your services. Secondly, defining your territory. Thirdly, your property types. Fourthly, the client types that you want to work with. Then 5, setting your targets. Number 6 is tracking and measuring certain things. And number 7 is the marketing method. So if I look at these individually, of course you can make your notes from that, and then you can think about your zone, your preferences, and what you're doing personally. So let's go into that right now. So let's go into defining your services. Now I've put that here firstly, the first issue on the list, because you can't be servicing every type of property, every type of property need in your location. So determine what you're good at and where you're going to get most of your commission from. It's an important equation because if you compare some of these things, there are differences in the way in which commission is created. Commission comes from sales, of course, and that is actually the fast way to get more commissions. If you're a sales agent focusing in the majority on sales activity, but then you've got to have a method of sale around that, and also your marketing methods and your promotional methods and your client base. So sales is good, working for the sellers. That's how you get your listings. Then of course you could be a leasing agent, that's okay. Leasing is a longer cycle usually, and you've got to have lots of listings within leasing to actually get some reasonable commissions. Lastly, a purchaser's agent, that's a buyer's agent. That's fine, but they tend to not get as much business out of the cycle as maybe a sales agent. So they work exclusively for certain buyers, and that's okay again, but they've got to work out a formula which works for them around that. So determine what you like, because once you determine that, it then takes you down into your territory decisions. So the territory is the primary and the secondary territory, because you've decided what your services were from the previous point. Where is your territory going to be? That's the primary zone. That's where you're going to get 80% of your business. The secondary zone is a bit broader than that. It's where you're going to get the other 20% of your business. So define that so you know exactly where you're prospecting. Once you do that, you can move on to number 3. And that is defining your primary property types and your secondary property types. So if you've said that sales is your industry, you've got to say, right, what is the primary type of property you're going to focus on? Now that could be office, industrial and retail. It could be development land. It could be land alone. It could be all sorts of twists and turns around that. So if you're a seller's agent, the primary property type is quite easy. What are you going to sell? It could be industrial property. It could be retail. It could be any variation of that, but industrial, office, retail, office property perhaps. Determine what that is and concentrate on it. The secondary property type will be the ones that are left over after you determine what the primary type is. So if that's going to be retail, this could be industrial and office. If this is industrial, this could be retail and office. Recognize that most of your business will come from here. Number 4, defining your client types. There are different people that you can and should work with. Now, most particular agents will work with private investors. That's a good thing in saying that you've got to find them. So that's a prospecting challenge, but that's how you do that. So work there with your private investors and also work here with the corporate clients in your zone, those that own or those that lease property in your location. Between those two levels of approach with client types, you'll get a lot of business, private investors and also corporate people. I put the other two on here, franchise groups. You'd be working that if you're going to work with retailers as well. So those two go together if you're going to do that. Let's go to number 5, setting targets. So you've got to set some targets. There's a bit of an order to this particular equation. You could say that you want to get a certain commission out of your career over 12 months. If you say that you want to get, let's say, a gross commission of $200,000 out of your zone, you've got to work backwards from that, and you've got to say, righto, $200,000, the gross commission. Maybe it's more, maybe it's less, I don't know, but whatever it is. You've got to say, right, how many transactions do I need for that? Now, you will set a standard on the transactions. They'll be of a particular type and size. So if it's $200,000 in gross commissions, the number of transactions based on, let's say, a commission average of $25,000 maybe for a particular type of property, you'll then know how many listings you need at a conversion rate. Now, what is your conversion rate in your listings? Hopefully it's 75% or above, and hopefully you're getting exclusivity as part of that. So once you figure that number out, you go over here and say, how many clients do I need to make this work? And who are the clients? So there you go, that's your formula. And once you set that formula, you know where you have to start. You start with clients, you move to listings of a particular type, you move to transactions within those listings, and then you have your commissions. That's the formula. So number 6, tracking and measuring. You should be tracking and measuring everything you do within particular activities. And you would track weekly so you can analyze monthly and analyze quarterly. If you're watching those numbers within those time frames, those numbers will show you how you're going and how the market is trending. So what are you going to track and measure? Well, typically outbound calls every day, then meetings created, then listings created, and then you'll split your listings between open listings and exclusive listings. And from that, you'll then track the issue of conversion to a successful end result. And of course, you'll have, as I said, open listings, exclusive listings to give you those trends. So let's go to number 7, marketing methods. So your marketing methods, I mentioned a little bit earlier. What do you do every day to market yourself? So this goes hand in hand with your own sales plan at the top here. Maybe it should have been item number 1. It depends on which way you look at it. But once you know all of these other things, the 6 items, then the marketing method makes sense. So what's the marketing method? Number 1, outbound calls. That's the number of outbound calls you're going to do every day. Then you've got your area canvassing, getting into your area, understanding what's going on. And then you've got your card drop. You should be dropping off about 25 business cards a day to businesses and owner-occupiers in the location. Then you can do some direct mail, but only send out a small number of letters. That might be 5 a day because you've got to follow them up. Then you've got the emails that you can send out. That's okay, but recognize that if you're sending out emails, you've got to follow them up again. And then you've got the brochure drop. So brochure drops are useful when you have listings. When you have a listing, you just copy off a brochure for that particular listing. Maybe it's a 1-page A4 flyer. Then you take it into the zone. That's called local area marketing, and that will help you find things anyway. So let's go back up to the top here, developing your own sales plan. Now, I have put an article here for you to print off from the website, and there it is, Practical Sales Planning, Strategies in Commercial Real Estate Brokerage. That's the article. You can go there and print it off. That's a summary of everything I've been talking about here. So in closing, this is John Hyman. Thank you for listening to the program. Of course, there are many more ideas at the website anyway, but you should get this particular article and print it off from the website, Practical Sales Planning Strategies in Commercial Real Estate Brokerage. It's quite a good article, many different things there for you to look at and understand. So it's John Hyman signing off for now. I look forward to catching you again very soon online with another video in commercial real estate brokerage around the world. Catch you soon.